Oh, okay. I was wondering what that was. Come closer. Yeah, come closer, no problem. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shruniyama Devaah. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shruniyama Devaah. Bhadram Pashyema, Bhadram Pashyema, Akshabhir Yajatraah, Akshabhir Yajatraah, Sthirairangai, Sthirairangai, Tushtuvagam Sastanubhih, Tushtuvagam Sastanubhih, Vyashema, Vyashema, Devahitam Yadayuhu, Devahitam Yadayuhu, Swastina Indro, Swastina Indro, Vruddhashravaha, Vruddhashravaha, Swastina Pusha, Swastina Pusha, Vishvavedaha, Vishvavedaha, Swastinastarkshyo, Swastinastarkshyo, Arishtanemihi, Arishtanemihi, Swastino Brihaspatirdadatu, Swastino Brihaspatirdadatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Tvam gunatrayatitah, Tvam gunatrayatitah, Tvam avasthatrayatitah, Tvam avasthatrayatitah, Tvam dehatrayatitah, Tvam dehatrayatitah, Tvam kalatrayatitah,
Tvam kalatrayatitaha.
Tvam mooladharasthitosi nityam.
Tvam mooladharasthitosi nityam.
Tvam shaktitrayatmakaha.
Tvam shaktitrayatmakaha.
Tvam yogino dhyayanti nityam.
Tvam yogino dhyayanti nityam.
Tvam brahma tvam vishnustvam.
Tvam brahma tvam vishnustvam.
Indrastvam agnistvam.
Indrastvam agnistvam.
Vayustvam suryastvam.
Vayustvam suryastvam.
Chandramastvam.
Chandramastvam.
Brahma bhurбhuvassuvarom.
Brahma bhurбhuvassuvarom.
From Mooladhara sthitosi nityam. And I explained last time, Mooladhara, you can again take it as a particular seat of energy in the body located as at the base of the spine. And there are many such places or locales of energy. So it's not that this is the only one. This is one of the many. They say there are in the palms of the hand and soles of the feet, and you find that this marma chikitsa. What is marma? It's an ancient kind of acupressure, Ayurvedic acupressure that signaled the presence of these energy centers through which you could apply medicine, put a little oil on that center, and then it would have certain effects on the desired parts of the body and the mind. Or you could press it, or as they do in ancient Chinese medicine, you put a needle through that and then stimulate that points. So there are certain points and they are invisible. It is not detected in a post-mortem because they are just sukshma. Yeah, you cannot say where are the channels, but you can map them out because people who have studied this vidya know how to map out certain energy channels belonging to the gallbladder, belonging to the liver, so wherever there is any liver problem, certain points you stimulate and the liver comes back to life, literally. And so like this, Mooladhara is a energy point which is situated at the base of the spine with regard to the individual body, mind, sense complex. If you look at Adhyatma, which has to do with connectivity. Yeah, so these are not energy points that can even be stimulated by a needle, an acupuncture. Even the longest acupuncture needle will not penetrate the Mooladhara because it's a spiritual energy point. Just like we have physical energy points, we have a more sukshma than the energy channels. This is a spiritual, so to speak, energy point whose connection, whose resonance has to do with the search for connections, root and foundation. That's why it's called root chakra. What is the root? Root means what? The sense of belonging. That's the root. The source. And what is the source? We all know what the source is. We have been studying Vedanta for so long. What is the source? Ishvara is the source. And then Ishvara is not discovered as the source. Why? Because of Moola, again another Moola. Moola Ajnanam. We talked about that yesterday also. So the Moola Ajnanam, if there was a situation, if you can say, where is the Moola Ajnanam? Of course you cannot pinpoint. But the Mooladhara is a good place for contemplation to begin this search. Because initially the search for the roots does not lead to Ishvara, it leads to genealogy.com. Nobody goes to Ishvara.com, Vishnu.com. No one goes to Narayana.com. Actually the word Narayana, Narasya Ayanam, the source of the human being. That is Narayana, the Lord. Nobody goes to Bhagavan as the source. Why? Because there is a thick layer and as it were an impenetrable, layer of ignorance, Mula Ajnanam. And so therefore immediately what happens, one searches for the source in many ways. The child thinks mother is the source, father is the source. And then of course they don't fail to disappoint. Who? The parents. They are very obliging in that way, themselves being fallible, and then the child has to drop them as the source. And this dropping is very painful to witness, because this is the, coming of age of this young child who is not even supposed to grow up. Suddenly it is disappointed. And that, starts that is where the aberration of this painful separation, as it were, from the source cast into this human form, in a way is recognized at the age of 3, 4 or 5. Oh, I think this is not okay. Something is not right. Everything I'm trying, nothing is going right. And then that is when the unconscious, starts to form. And then, the rest is history, because the whole life is search. And that search does not find what's its name? An answer. And then it continues in the next life, and then in the next, and then in the next and next. And so the Mooladhara is important, because it gives a clue, if we visualize, as this Upanishad tells us to. Tvam sthitaha asti, asi, tvam sthitosi, when? Nityam. Right at the beginning of everything, including this body. You were there at the beginning. The beginningless you was there when this body started. And so that means what? That the search is over, right? There is no search, no research. It's done. It's all done, it's finished. The search is over. Because you bypass all that nonsense. What nonsense? Of constantly looking for a mother figure and a father figure. This is what the human life is. Really think about it. Somebody said, I got married to somebody who just was like my mother. Somebody said. It's not, hard to imagine. And this person came and told me, the spouse is just like the mother, in a different body, same issues. That just shows that the search for the spouse was not really the search for a partner. It was the truncated search that stopped a long time ago due to disappointment, fear, whatever, the truncated search for the mother. Same thing. Sometimes, one marries somebody who's just like the father. Why? Because it's really the search for the father. It's not the search for the spouse. And then, and one has children also to compensate that severance from the source at the beginning. That is why people have children many times, because I want a continuation. The mother and the father I didn't have will continue through me. This is something which is very interesting. And so, therefore, there is samsara. Therefore, there is the progeny and the continuation. And then we give this same sense of truncation and we pass on culturally. Now we are discussing Mooladhara at the Adhibhuta. Adhibhuta level means in terms of the empirical reality. The Mooladhara means the collective insecurity of not having a firm beginning. A collective insecurity of abandonment, neglect, fear. So one person's fear only you can imagine, correct? Yeah. And then you multiply that by 7 billion. We are only talking of human beings, not just puppies and kittens. Okay, yeah. So think about the magnanimity of that. It's endless fear, endless insecurity that cause human beings to search for the source and to validate that search. And when that search is not there, that search gets very badly, it degenerates into hoarding. Now in India, one show has started to come on television. I saw this recently. It was so horrifying. I think it's an American show. It's called Hoarder Extreme or something like that. Something like that is there? Yeah. And this, there was no place, this big house, quite a big house, decent sized house. And the camera crew got him because this person needed help. And one of the trade-offs is you let everyone see what all you have in your house. You leave no pride, no shame. You call the TV crew and say, help. And so the TV crew along with the narrator comes, this moderator, and then goes inside the house, if they can, really. Here, there were boxes and shopping bags and, shopping till dropping and everything. It was just blocked. When the door opened, they had to stand back. They needed those safety hats because of several things fell down. The main door opened. And then few more bags they were, assaulted by when they went in. And the camera had things falling in front of it. And with great difficulty, there was a narrow pathway they had made earlier, but then the woman had gone shopping in between. She was a shopaholic. And there was no place to put things. And with great difficulty, they recarved this narrow pathway into the so-called living room. The only thing that was living in the room were bags and boxes. That was all that was living. And plus, some things don't come in bags. Like, when you buy clothes. And she was hanging. Sometimes in this country, they give the clothes along with a hanger. And so the things hanging everywhere. On the banister of the stairs, things with, coats, dresses, shirts, with the tags, all hanging. And how many people living in the house? 2. Husband and wife. And the husband had retreated to an upstairs room and was not able to come down. He called for help. This is what it is. This is the Mooladhara all gone wrong. Moola gone wrong. Where the search deteriorates into control, into obsessive behaviors. What I'm giving is the extreme. Nobody has this, very few people have this kind of psychosis. We are not talking of this extreme. But we can recognize in ourselves the garden variety of these kinds of tendencies. That insecurity which makes me want to, just get so frustrated that I want to just protect what I have. So you see, what is protecting what you have is called kshema. That is normal. But here, this is extreme concern over the kshema. So here, that is, we see, especially in the West, and now India also is becoming like that. Thanks to globalization, we see it here in a magnified form, where the disconnection from Ishvara, or even from a sense of a healthy kinship network, a source, a relative source, that a sense of belonging leads one to extreme and dire behaviors and, all kinds of emotional problems as a result. And so this is Mooladhara at the Adhibhuta level, at the collective level of, an insecurity that has gone wrong, a search. If the insecurity is not manageable and the search is not a correct search, then it will deteriorate and have tributaries that lead you off scent for Vedanta completely. You go off the track, you go off the scent. And like a lost traveler, always lost. And this sense of lostness is the adhibhuta of the Mooladhara. Then adhideva is what? Deva means that which is centered on Bhagavan. And this is what we have just understood. Tvam Mooladhara sthitosi. You are the Mooladhara. You are not only located there, you are the one that has made us have this insecurity. Yeah. You are the one that has as though caused this insecurity, because in your order itself, this insecurity also manifests, which I am dedicating to you. And then this insecurity is a spoof. It's mithya. It's just some, as though, really. So when I understand this, then I seek you alone as the source of security. And where should I seek? Right in the body. Right where the place which is sensitive for gaining, which is a sensitive energy center for resolving the issue of what is my origin. Where do I connect? Where do I belong? To resolving the issue of alienation. This is very important. Because we have heard in so many Vedanta classes that the problem is of feeling alienated from everybody else, from everything else, from other jivas. First from oneself, adhyatma alienation, from other jivas and things in the universe, adhibhuta alienation, and from Ishvara, adhideva alienation. So at all levels one is alienated. And this visualization of Bhagavan, Ganesha, Ganapati, sitting at the base of the spine has a powerful reversal of that alienation, because that alienation is not real. It is a powerful mental projection. Oh, but it appears real, that's its job. That means Maya is doing her job. It appears real. But everything that appears is apparent. It's not real. It appears real, that's Maya's job. So therefore, the antidote to this alienation is sitting and meditating upon, using the upasana, meditating or visualizing Lord Ganesha. As we have described, both the Sacchidananda and the creator and the tatastha lakshana of the creator, manifester, sustainer and resolver of the entire jagat. Where is that person available? Where is this conscious entity who is everything available? Right at the tailbone. My own foundation, because the tailbone is what helps me to sit straight. And so when I visualize Lord Ganesha there, then everything straightens itself out. So this is a powerful antidote to alienation. Very nice, wonderful. And then what? And then the next one is Tvam Shaktitrayatmakaha. And who are you? Now we are on the mantra. The sixth mantra is all about groups of threes. Dehatrayatitah, Kalatrayatitah, Gunatrayatitah, Avasthatrayatitah. And then Shaktitrayatmakaha. Also Titah, but Makaha here. Atmakaha means that you are in the form of the three powers. And see, before everything was transcendental. Atita means you transcend the gunas, you transcend the three bodies. So we go to the source of the Bhagavan, who is visualized as Ganapati, who is in the form of my own root, my own tailbone, who is formless, whose essential nature is formless, who is beyond the body, mind, sense complex. And then visualizing in the tailbone makes it, makes it difficult to visualize that which is formless, correct? How do you visualize a formless one? Now we enter into the realms of Christianity. God is formless, but then it's a he. They are convinced. And not only it is a he, long beard, dadi wala God, And then the formless one occupies a space called heaven, correct? Here the heaven is at the Mooladhara chakra. So here it is the tailbone. So, what is this form? How to visualize? So therefore, that since it says, Tvam Mooladhara sthitosi nityam, you are always in the tailbone. So, it's very difficult for this mind, which is a vagrant, this transient mind going from one place to another, searching for scraps. So, this transient mind to have a fix. So, first you have a location, and then you have a kind of a formless form. It is, a sukshma form of Bhagavan to have a, because once you have a location, you have to have something to meditate upon. And so here, Visualize Bhagavan as endowed with three Shaktis, three forms of power. This Bhagavan here, Ishvara, no longer Ganesha. Ishvara, no longer a particular Bhagavan called Ganesha. Ganesha here is presented as Ishvara alone. But we are not talking of a particular manifestation. We are talking of Ishvara here because the three forms of power are talked about. Atmakaha means you are endowed with. You are the one who has three forms of power. And here again we can take it as Adhibhuta, centered on the individual. Adhyatma, centered on the individual. Adhibhuta, centered on the Jagat. And Adhideva, centered on Bhagavan. So Adhideva powers means what? We'll start with Adhideva. Adhidaivika power means, three powers means what? Yes, creates, sustains, resolves. Creates what? Not just some khichdi. No. Jagat is the khichdi. Jagat is the khichdi. Where the dal and the rice comes from, we don't know. The material is non-separate from the maker. That is the magic here. If you want to make khichdi, you have to borrow the rice from the neighbor. Where will Bhagavan go? Bhagavan can go to the neighbor. What neighbor? No neighbor. All that is there is Bhagavan alone. Bhagavan is the cook, Bhagavan is the neighbor, Bhagavan is the door, Bhagavan is the next door. Everything is Bhagavan. Where are you going to go? So therefore, to pakao comes from pach, Hindi. To cook, to do the pachana kriya of this pakaha, this cooking, which is this dish called the Jagat, to dish out the Jagat. What kind of power must be there? To make the apparent real and the real apparent, both are there. That which makes the apparent real is called, the Vikshepa Shakti. And that which makes the real apparent is Avarana Shakti. So this is a very interesting power. That which is real looks unreal. That which is unreal looks real. Wow! What a flavor in this khichdi. It's amazing. So beautiful. And so this having created this Jagat, and not only created but entered every aspect of the creation, occupied creation. Now last year we had all these movements, Occupy Eugene, Occupy Wall Street. And Bhagavan also had his own movement, Occupy Jagat. Yes. Every corner of the Jagat Bhagavan is. Yeah. That we learnt Occupy this Wall Street from Bhagavan only, who first said Occupy Jagat. So kamayat bahusyam praja gegeti satapo tapyat satapas taptva idagam sarvam asrijat yadidam kincha tad srishtva tadeva anupravishat. Contemplated. This Bhagavan contemplated the universe, created everything in the universe, and as he was creating everything, he is just Upalakshana. She was creating. It's a co-authorship. She was creating the Jagat. She entered the very Jagat. Entered the Jagat. Entered means what? First you create a home and then you have Griha Pravesham and then you enter it? No. The creation itself is the entry. So the effect is non-separate from the cause. The material non-separate from the maker. The maker is in the form of the material that pervades this entire universe, all pervasive. This is one part of the Shakti. And then which confuses, because the real is apparent. Apparent becomes real. And then what? The next Shakti, having created this, you have to keep it going. You have to keep it going. And how do you keep it going? How do you keep anything going? With a lot of fuss and stress. Even one thing, everything is a straw on the camel's back, donkey's back, whatever you want to say. What is the straw? The last straw. Last straw before what? Before the animal collapses. That is what it means. You see even the Olympic weightlifters, 200 pounds, 180 pounds the fellow will lift, then on top of that you put a feather. Collapse. There is a limit. There is a limit. There is always a threshold. One extra thing you have to do. First there is fear. Then how overwhelmed. How will I do this? Then there is anxiety. Then there is anger. Then there is resentment. Then there is, all kinds of oh my God. Then you have to take rest because you have done one thing extra. This is how we handle things on the everyday. How does Bhagavan sustain? He just buys a coiled mattress and lies down on it. Yeah. Silly, posturepedic. Yeah. That is what? Adishesha, serpent. And Bhagavan just Shayane, Sarvam Bibharti. Shayane doesn't sleep. Bhagavan cannot afford to sleep, okay? Doesn't need to sleep also. No stress. Bibharti protects, keeps everything going. And lying down means no anxiety, no overwhelm. It's all a game. We have a beautiful, very beautiful, you must see it in Washington DC in the temple. In the Shiva Vishnu temple, they have this Vishnu lying down on Adishesha. Huge the fellow is. Huge. And I'm told that it would not go through the front door of the temple in any angle. So what they had to do was cut a hole in the ceiling which had already been made and then lower him. He came by a helicopter. He was air-dropped. Yeah. He was air-dropped with lot of ropes and people to receive him, chanting of mantras and everything. And that's how he came. People were so thrilled because that's how he decided to come. No door, and they said that the door could not be widened, could not be removed, nothing should be done because there was some agama rules that once the door is fixed, you cannot remove it. Some, vastu rules. And the Sapati or the sculptor made him very big because you cannot tell sculptor, you can just say regular size. You can say, okay, this big, this general size. After that, they do what they want, or rather, Bhagavan makes them do what they want. And if it is smaller, bigger, you can't say, this is bigger than what I want, I'm going to send it back. That's not a Hindu, mentality. Only if it is broken, you can send it back. Otherwise, you cannot send it back. Broken means it's not good for puja. You need something whole. So therefore, here they accepted what came. And they had to redo the entire ceiling after the Lord literally descended into his abode, into his shrine. And, and so, and beautiful, he just lies like that. One hand is just there, the creation, just looking, just like the mother would the child. Okay, I'm here, don't worry, Just reaching out, as it were. And the navel is a beautiful lotus growing from the navel on which the Creator is sitting. Brahmaji is sitting there receiving instructions, as it were, what to do. No, I think the dinosaurs, they need to go. And all this is happening, this teleconferencing is happening without any problem. No stress. This was in the days before Skype. Otherwise, Vishnu would have Skyped. Yeah. Without any stress. And this is when you see that shrine, when you see Lord Narayana lying down like that, immediately you think, what is wrong with me? Why can't I be like that? That is why he is like that, because he is modeling this, the creation how the creation can be maintained. How the creation can be maintained, he models. And Lord Shiva also takes care of creation. Because some people prefer to look at Lord Shiva. And some people will not look at Lord Shiva. Only Narayana, only Narayana. Narayana laughs because Narayana is Shiva, Shiva is Narayana, there is only one. Even though we say three Shaktis. And of course Lord Brahmaji does not have good karma because he is not worshipped anywhere except in one small temple in Rajasthan and then in Thailand. Why? Because you don't worship samsara and we credit him with samsara. So he came back with bad karma. And so between these two, Narayana and Lord Shiva, they created a lot of, whatever this devotees. Some devotees, only Narayana alone, Lord Shiva does not exist. And usually Shaivites will go to Narayana shrine, but it's not true the other way around. Yeah. And so if you recognize the whole maintenance of the creation, the sustenance from Lord Shiva's viewpoint, you have another interesting thing going on over there. What is going on? Lord Shiva is just dancing. That's all it is. Tandava. He is in various poses. In fact, all dancers and musicians worship Lord Shiva because he is the source of music and dance. There is a beautiful manifestation of Dakshinamurti. See, there are three forms of Dakshinamurti. One is our Vedanta Dakshinamurti, Chinmudra Dakshinamurti. Who says, you, the pointing finger, you are not the body, the mind or the senses. Even though you think you have grown with them, like the finger. The finger has misidentified itself with these other four fingers. We are one and you are the odd one out. And they all laugh at this one. You look funny. You look truncated. Are you really even a finger? And the thumb does not protect itself. It does not defend itself. It does not email them back and say, you idiots, you don't really know me. Nothing. It just keeps quiet and lets the fingers do their ha-ha, he-he. They laugh at the thumb, they ridicule, they bully the thumb, they try to bully the thumb like the children do one another at school. And then what? The thumb merely waits for the fingers to pick up something. Yeah. The thumb just says, okay, see if you can pick this up elegantly without me. And the fingers try and they cannot pick up and show properly. And the fingers try again. They cannot do the job without the thumb. And then they say, Thambosi, Tvam Sarvam, Tvam Nityam. Tvam Sacchidanandam. Why am I using the neuter? Because thumb. Yeah. You can say Thambam, Sacchidanandam, Tvam. Neuter. Only in relation to the thumb. You are the whole. You are everything to us. And we forgot that you exist. Just like Indra, Agni, Varuna forgot there was Ishvara and they were taking the credit for vanquishing the Devas. Here we forgot that even to pick up a pencil from the ground, even to pick up one small object, if you don't function, we are, useless. So therefore, Tattvamasi here is shown here. So at the level of the finger, this finger was the most intelligent because it pointed to everything else. And this finger finally got it that I am not any of these three. These three have led me astray. I am in fact the thumb. I am all. I am that which sustains everything. And so what is exemplified here is these three fingers constitute the body-mind-sense complex. And this one, whereas, is what? Is the indweller, the ahankara, that which constitutes the jiva is ajnanam plus ahankara. That is all the jiva is. So this is the ego. And this ego is told, you are not any of this. You are that Brahman. This thumb is Brahman, without which you cannot pick up anything, without which you are nothing. And this ego is told, you are Brahman, Tattvamasi. So we have the first kind of Dakshinamurti, the Chinmudrik Dakshinamurti. And then you have another one called Yoga Dakshinamurti, who's kind of a cross between our Dakshinamurti and Ayyappa, because he's sitting in kind of an Ayyappa pose. One leg is up, and then tied to the body, just like the Lord Ayyappa. And then that is Yoga Dakshinamurti, and the eyes have gone up in meditation, intense samadhi. And then the third form is Veena Dakshinamurti. He's holding a lute. Veena is called lute, whatever it is, Veena. In his lap and playing the Veena. Veena Dakshinamurti. Very ancient, all these forms are. Which shows what? When you look at Lord Shiva, is the author of nada, of music, dance, everything. The sound from which all the silence, first the silence, then the sound. Or you can take it the other way. First the sound of what? Om. And that Om resolves into silence, and out of that silence there is a clearing of the ragadveshas, which gives rise to, of course, the joy which is expressed in the form of dance and music. And this dancing is creation. So how does Lord Shiva sustain? Just by dancing. Keeps dancing. Keeps you also on your toes. Everything is cha-cha-cha. This is Tandava is a very nice imagery. The hair is all over the place. Lord Nataraja, you see this? The dreadlocks are flying in the wind. And then what? That's why when they do Nataraja, they have dreadlocks coming from all directions. They're flying in the wind. And he's dancing in space. This is a Upalakshana, a wonderful allegory for how to see the Jagat as a dance. Which Jagat? My own Jagat. The whole thing is cha-cha-cha. Of course you step on people's toes. Part of cha-cha-cha. And then what? How does that dance go? Cha-cha-cha. Oh, sorry. That is all it is. You step on people's toes or nose, whatever it is. You step on, sometimes you walk all over their grace. You walk over the grace of Bhagavan. You walk over the grace, of the spouse. You walk over the grace of all the people, loved ones. And then what? You back off a little because you say, okay, I have gone too far. You back off. That is a step in the dance, backing off. And then you see someone in need, and that day you happen to be feeling very secure and good. You reach out, cha-cha-cha forward, and you help them. It's still a dance. And the other person does a receiving dance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Another cha-cha-cha. And especially in this weather, in the East Coast, so cold, you reach out, you give somebody, you do some seva in some soup kitchen, something you do, makes you feel good, makes them also feel good. Another cha-cha-cha, very nice moment. And then you say, I'm turning all Vedantic, I'm turning all spiritual, I'm going to start attending classes at 7 o'clock in the morning. Another cha-cha-cha. And the Guru is sitting here doing another cha-cha-cha, correct? Yeah. Tvam mooladhara sthitosi nityam cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. That's all it is. It's all a dance. And then you say, okay, I have now the extreme cha-cha-chas I have. What is this extreme cha-cha-cha? I want to worship. I want to go into the shrine. I'm doing Rudram and Abhisheka. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya, cha 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 cha. Everything cha cha cha, 1 2 3 1 2 3. I'm doing Arati, cha cha cha. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam, cha 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 cha. That's all it is. It's a step in the dance. It's all a dance. Unfortunately, we are uninitiated. We don't look upon it as a dance. That is, That is another dance. Because we don't look upon it as a dance, there is another, sad cha 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 cha. Sad cha cha cha. Why? Because I didn't see that this was a dance. The whole Jagat keeps on the toes, and all that Bhagavan needs to do to resolve this Jagat, Lord Shiva we are talking about. Vishnu has his own way of coping with this Jagat. He lies down. Can't take it anymore. No, I'm just joking. Look at what we have made him do. We have made him go to bed. No, that's a joke, okay? Don't take it seriously. Shiva has his own way of resolving the entire Jagat. He just stops dancing. And this is again a metaphor. What do I have to do to let the Jagat go? This Jagat around me and within me that is causing. Around cannot cause anything. Within me. That causes me to first, have missteps. The whole life is a misstep. Wrong steps, missed opportunities. Everything is hit or miss. They say mostly it is miss. And then you get angry, then you hit. That's all it is. Then you hit the palm of your hand, you hit somebody else, you hit because you have missed, really. And so, in this hit and miss dance, what do I have to do? I have to stop dancing. Akartritva, abhoktritva. That is just like Shiva, go into meditation. Children always ask, we all meditate upon Shiva. Who does Shiva meditate upon? Swasthane, Swarupe, meditates upon his own nature, abides in his own being. And since his being is not separate from your being, if you make the decision to stop dancing, it's a very welcome decision. Not just for you, but for your loved ones also. And then, Brahmaji can cross you off the list of jivas. One more thing need not incarnate. Give him a break. Yeah, Brahmaji says, thank God. Guptaji, aiye. Guptaji? Who? Chitragupta. Aiye, let's have a cup of tea. One jiva crossed out has gained moksha or has decided to go on this path. Has found a teacher. Very good. Because if you find a teacher, if you find the correct teacher. Correct is within heavy parenthesis. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. Veda declares with alacrity. Veda dares to declare that if you have a teacher, you know. So, each time somebody attends a Vedanta class seriously, not just shopping and flopping, no. Seriously one takes to this path, Brahmaji gets a little coffee break. Says, okay, one less person to take care of, because otherwise it's a headache. You have to think, okay, next life, what will he do? What will he be incarnated as? Pumpkin? No, we just did that 3 lifetimes ago. He was a pumpkin, didn't learn anything. Pumpkin seller? No, that's okay. That's not the correct karma this time. Buffalo? Yeah, great. Yeah, buffalo karma. Why? Very tamasic. Hippo? Why hippo? Because it was a foodie, above everything else. Had a very sad life. Was a foodie. Foodie means you're a gourmet, food appreciator. But had all kinds of intestinal problems, couldn't digest anything and had body image issues and was afraid of getting fat. Hippo, perfect. You're never afraid of putting on weight. Anything you can eat. Once, when I was small, I was taken to this sanctuary. In India, there's a hippo sanctuary. First you don't see anything, you just see this mud. They're all inside there, cooling off. You see some bubbles, they are breathing. And then, you have a sandwich in your hand. I clearly remember this. And the sandwich you have to throw to them. They come out, to receive this sandwich. You have to throw to them. And I threw this sandwich. And, for a small child's hand, the sandwich was big, at least so I thought. My perception of the sandwich was big. And it went into this fellow's mouth. and it was the size of one of his molars. Tiny. It just disappeared. Just, you cannot even say he inhaled it, because that's not even the case. It just got lost in his teeth. Yeah. It stuck in between the two teeth. That was the size of the sandwich when it reached his mouth. This is the hippo. So like this, Brahmaji can cross off happily the one who stops dancing. So this is still Adhideva, Shaktitrayatmika, Adhidaivikam. So these three forms of, the ability to create, the ability to sustain and manage this intractable universe, seemingly intractable universe. And when this seemingly intractable universe resolves because into that apparition, that apparition called the Jagat resolves into that reality which manifested this apparition, then what? And all that is left is Ishvara. These are the three Shaktis at the level of Adhidaivikam. Then Adhibhuta, at the level of the surroundings, one's own surroundings. We have the manifestation of the three Shaktis. What are they? What three Shaktis surround us? Surround this Jiva. Mm-hmm. Yes. What is the Jagat have? Three things the Jagat has. What are they? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Gunas. At the level of the Jagat, Adhibhuta, the three Shaktis, Gunas. I told you the palette of Mother Maya, the famous paintress, artist par excellence. The whole Jagat is her museum. Yes, this is where, because people have, what is that? Exhibits. Yeah, this is her exhibit. Her exhibit is the entire Jagat. So she has a fall installation of leaves and things. And she has a winter installation. We are just talking of the seasons. She has a winter installation of everything bare and white. And she has a spring colorful installation. She has a summer installation. Scorching heat and people under, umbrellas. In Hawaii, they have umbrellas, 2 chairs, and then they have their own drinks with their own umbrellas. I've never understood what that is all about. I have seen it in brochures and everything. Always tickles me. So first you have your umbrella, and the drink also should not get destroyed. It has its own umbrella to protect it from the sun. Very festive looking, I suppose. And so they have the scorching. This is installation of Maya. My artist is this Jagat. Jagat Janani is doing an installation. Wonderful. And then what? Then, then at the level of the human mind also she has some colors to paint. Joyous person living in gratitude, living in, acceptance. Sattva mind, she has painted another installation. Rajasic person, or even animal you take, always, running around, restless, angry, frustrated, anxious. Tamasic individual. What can we say about that, Doesn't even get out of bed. What to say about such a person? Or deep in the doldrums, tamasic. So even at the level of the mind, these Shaktis manifest. So at the level of Adhibhuta, these Shaktis are there. Then we come to Adhyatma. Again we have 3 Shaktis. What are they? Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. In the Lalita Sahasranama this comes Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Swarupini. Ichha Shakti, the power to desire, even Bhagavan has. So Kamayat, that Bhagavan had a Kama, they say. It's just a visualization. The Kama, may I become many. Bahusyam, Prajayeya, may I multiply. But here that is just our own projection of Bhagavan's Kama, because we don't understand why there is creation. Why is there creation? Arey, I just told you we don't understand why there is creation. No, but really why there is creation? Why is there creation? Then the answer should be, who is asking? The one that is in creation. Okay, then for that person who is who, if you say, I am a hapless, hopeless, helpless being stuck in this creation, then I have an answer for you. What is that answer? There is karma, there is Bhagavan. Bhagavan desired to create because the karmas of the jivas have to be exhausted. And what is chapter 5 of the story? The chapter 5 of the story is, there is, you have to study Vedanta to get moksha. And then after moksha, what happens? Then you will not be born again. Oh, then what will happen? Then you will stop asking the question. Why is there creation? Because you understand that there is no creation at all. We are talking of something that is not really there. Oh, but what if I am enlightened and I ask what is this creation? If you are enlightened, you will not ask. That's all there is. This is Adi Shankara told a questioner. This is, this question answer session that we this mock question answer session that we recreated here is 5,000 years old. Yeah. And it first comes in the Upanishad. And then Adi Shankara commenting, he says, because the questioner asked, where is Ajnanam, where is Jiva? In the Prashtuhu Swarupe Eva, he says. He says in the nature of the questioner. Where is the Ajnanam located? In the questioner, in the one who is asking the question. That Ajnana is Ahankara. Jiva is nothing but body, mind, sense complex plus Ahankara, that's all it is. Alienation plus Ahankara, I told you at the beginning. So therefore what? At the level of the individual, there are these Shaktis, same as the Creator, albeit in an inhibited fashion, when we are talking of the empirical reality. Because we are talking of the empirical reality if we are focusing on the standpoints of Adhideva, Adhibhuta, Adhyatma. We are looking at it from 3 different standpoints. From the standpoint of the absolute, there is nothing to talk about. And then from the standpoint of the absolute, from the stand of the absolute, there is nothing to talk about. But when I say standpoint of the absolute, then it's begging the existence of the other 2 ways of looking at it. So at the individual level of the one's body, mind, sense complex, 3 forms of power are immediately accessible. Ichha Shakti, the power to desire, same as Bhagavan. Then what? Kriya Shakti, the power to act upon those desires. And in between is Jnana Shakti, the power to know things. The power to know, the power to desire, the power to act. And when you tell Bhagavan, Tvam Shakti Trayatmakaha, it includes my power to desire. You see, that's how you locate the Bhagavan in desire. You locate the Bhagavan. Bhagavan is located in every action. You locate Bhagavan in every knowledge. So you see, Bhagavan is never away. Where is the alienation? Each time I have a desire, it is Bhagavan. Wait. You just said Raga, Dvesha, Yoga, Kshema, give up. What kind of Raga, Dvesha? What kind of Yoga, Kshema? The ones that take me away from the pursuit. The unmanageable Raga, Dveshas and Yoga, Kshemas. The unmanageable desires which manage me. That have to be given up. Desire is Bhagavan. Without desire you would not be here. I would not be here. Desire is Bhagavan. And Bhagavan declares that in the Bhagavad Gita. Kamosmi. I am in the form of desire. Oh, yippee! Yeah, read the fine print. Yes. Dharma aviruddha kamosmi. Yippee. And the tone is changed. So in the beginning, jubilation. Oh, I am in the form of desire. Bhagavan is declaring where in the Bhagavad Gita? Oh my God. Oh me God. And then what? Dharma aviruddha kamosmi. I am that desire that does not cross dharma, that does not cross what is correct, what is locally correct. What is that? Vishesha dharma. What is correct? What is the right kind of polite conduct? And also what is correct for me to do in my own station where I am. What is right for me to do. So long as it doesn't cross all these three, then I am in the form of desire. I am in the form of that desire that does not transgress dharma. And so that is Ichha Shakti. Ichha Shakti means that power of Bhagavan which is latent. And because of the free will, we milk that latency and distract it to all kinds of small finite ends. And that's why you encounter people doing the vaguest and the strangest things. So much waste of calories for nothing. Bungee cord jumping. Some thrill. Zip line. This is latest one. That thing that that skiing thing. What is that called? That line is there. Cable. That cable. And then you just, instead of that ski lift, you put yourself on it. That's all it is. And you go, you go like that. Keep saying we. Jagat is not thrilling enough. You have to put yourself through this. And then you fall down naturally because, this is a dangerous sport. One falls down. And same thing with bungee cord jumping, some kind of a, bouncy cord. You're hung up there from some mountain, literally hanging out, Why? Because of ajnanam. Because I feel like I have to show somebody something horrible. Horrible. And in fact, George Bush the elder one, on his 85th birthday, he had a desire to go bungee cord jumping. Yeah. And he went also. Came down also. And then successfully. And then of course, being the ex-president of the United States and declaring you're going bungee cord jumping is not a small thing. All the press and reporters, mics, everything, where he landed, they were all waiting there. But unfortunately, he was so breathless that he had to be taken straight to the ICU to be checked out, to make sure everything, because his heart was not okay after that. At any age, the heart will palpitate. It's just a swabhavika, the body's reaction to this kind of, suspension. What a suspense. Literally. Just stay at home and do yoga. You do arm balance. Yes, you get upside down, you get, 90-degree inversion. And it is safe because in the beginning, you're taught how to do it, and then you are doing it against the wall. So always there is something to fall back on. All kinds of inversions at home you can do. And so this is how Ichha Shakti gets dissipated, because they are in the service of the Ahankara. That's why we are not able to delineate, make a differentiation. Because somebody asked me this very important question. How do I distinguish between Bhagavan in the form of the desire and my own desires? Very important question. It's a lifelong lesson. You have to first make room for Bhagavan. And the clutter of desires, like that extreme hoarder show I just talked about, where every item of clutter represents what? One's own desires. Imagine that. It does represent desire. And so in inner landscape, or rather jungle gone wild, grown wild, because all the wrong desires have been constantly watered, then what happens? there is no Bhagavan, is not able to be seen. Bhagavan is sitting right there in the form of desire. But the Bhagavan is clouded, occluded by all these vines. Because of the vines, you don't connect to the divine. That's all it is. And these vines, vines, because they have a creepy feeling, they just spread when you're not looking. They have already grown and spread. They grow at night when everything is quiet. And so the vines take root repeatedly. And we dissipate in useless desires. And so even at the upadhi level, like what is the purpose of this body, mind, sense complex? If there is a purpose to be filled at the level of the Jagat, even that people don't understand for a long time, for many, many lifetimes. So therefore the reason to sit quietly is very important. So that Ichha Shakti, as Bhagavan, manifests itself in a quiet mind. And then you have Jnana Shakti, the power to know. The power to know what? Oneself, really. That's the only thing to know, because that's the only existent thing. That's the only thing that is there. But then this power is also dissipated, because I mistake information for knowledge. So I gather information. Knowledge goes out of the window. Says, yoo-hoo, bye-bye, Yeah. Doesn't even say, I'll see you later. Maybe after a few lifetimes. Dissipated. Same thing with Kriya Shakti, the ability to act. Dissipated. Tethered to the service, to the chariot of desires. This is what, in the human being, that's what I mean, inhibited. Inhibited in two ways, limited amounts, and inhibited by the overwhelming presence of the Ragadveshas, which is all the more reason to quiet down the Ragadveshas, so that this, the Bhagavan, like the Sattvic Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Jnana Shakti can manifest. More we'll see after the break. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. What does colon with a D mean? SMS language.
What?
Colon with a capital D.
It's a smile.
Oh, big smile. Oh, okay. Now. See, I'm still unlettered. I'm still getting. I know a few things. I learned one more thing. Hand. What does hand mean? Have a nice day. And then I learned one more SMS thing. FOMO. What is FOMO? Fear of missing out. Such a teen thing to say. So we learnt one from one of the students here. One of the Bostonians told us. What did they say? Mother over shoulder, mass. Right? So this is another one.
BRB.
FOMO.
What's BRB?
BRB is be right back. That's a good one. I was thinking bed and breakfast, but I was thinking what is